In the dark holiday, destruction of the Olivia Lancaster family. On a dark night, the lights shimmered in the Olivia Lancaster mansion. The gentle sound of a piano echoed from the living room, creating a melancholic and quiet atmosphere. The Olivia Lancaster family was immersed in the silence of mourning, each person drowned in grief and regret for the loss of their beloved father. Alice, the youngest daughter, stood gazing out the window, faint light illuminating the family's secret garden. She noticed shadows emerging from that area, something mysterious hidden in the darkness. Her eyes lit up with curiosity, but also with fear. Reynolds, the eldest son, sat alone in the library, engrossed in old documents. His father's will lay on the table, but this was just the surface of a dark secret. He delved into contemplating his father's death, feeling that something was not right, a dark secret behind this heartbreaking incident. Olivia, the mother, walked in solitude and sorrow, yet her heart harbored secrets that no one could comprehend. The bizarre secret relationship with the male servant had made her life complicated and tangled. The shadow of obsession began to engulf this family. Life after Victor Olivia Lancaster's death was not just about separation and regret, but the beginning of a series of horrifying events. Each family member held an unspoken secret, contributing to a terrifying environment full of conspiracies and dangers. The story begins here, where secrets emerge like dark ghosts, threatening harmony and trust among loved ones. In the Olivia Lancaster mansion, dim light dripped from the classic standing lamp, highlighting Victor's portrait hanging on the wall. The funeral had ended, but the space was still filled with light from the floor lamp and the gentle moonlight through the window, immersing itself in the silent sorrow. Alice Olivia Lancaster, with red-rimmed eyes and a mournful face, left the funeral room and walked slowly across the staircase. She felt a gentle swelling in her heart, not only for her father's death, but also for the dark shadow she recognized behind the living room door. Her footsteps gently cut through the vast space, approaching the living room door. She opened it gently and saw Reynolds sitting alone in the dim light. The feeling of their encounter in the dark and damp atmosphere made the space even more tense. "Reynolds," Alice called softly, her voice like a cold breeze. "There's something not right, isn't there?" Reynolds turned to look at his younger sister, the faint light illuminating a face full of suspicion. "Our father. I feel there's something peculiar about his death." Alice slowly entered the room, and both siblings sat down on the sofa without saying a word. Reynolds held the will in his hand, looking intently at the lines of text. Alice looked down at the ornate rug spread on the floor, the intricate patterns becoming mystical under the dim light and pale yellow glow. "There's something not right," Reynolds whispered, his eyes faint but full of suspicion. Alice stared at her brother's face, her eyes radiating the light of worry. "What do we do? I can't believe our father would commit suicide." Reynolds tilted his head, feeling trapped in a dark trap. "We need to find out more. Something happened, and we can't let it go like this." The first secret of the Olivia Lancaster family began to sprout in Reynolds' suspicion about his father's death. The two siblings embarked on a journey to uncover the truth behind this dark event, unaware that they were stepping into a world full of conspiracies and secrets, where everyone held different dark secrets. The scent of lilac and scented candles filled the space in Alice Olivia Lancaster's room. It was a peaceful space, but inside, her heart was in turmoil. Alice, with shiny black hair and bright eyes, sat on the soft bed, immersing herself in the picture of the past through an ancient painting hanging on the wall. In the painting, Victor Olivia Lancaster laughed with Alice when she was a child. The image portrayed happiness and tranquility, but Alice's eyes reflected the complexity within her soul. She couldn't forget the shadow of the wealthy and powerful man she was maintaining an affair with. Flashbacks took Alice back to secret meetings, rendezvous in silent and remote places, where the dim light created a forbidden scene. The mysterious man remained unnamed, appearing only in the darkness and disappearing quickly, leaving Alice in confusion and fear. Alice's extramarital affair was not just about greed or desire, it was about control and power. The man was not just a lover, but a person with significant influence in the business and political world. Alice used this relationship to gain more influence in the family's property war, but also to protect her own secrets. A series of secret meetings and messages were carefully kept in Alice's drawer, traces of a dark life she had chosen. Every lie and every intimate gesture was a corner of the chilling betrayal portrait. Reynolds, Alice's brother, began to sense the unrest in his sister's behavior. While unaware of Alice's extramarital affair, her actions and expressions raised suspicions and prompted him to question the honesty of their family. Alice's once optimistic and energetic demeanor now became a façade, concealing pain and guilt. She felt the weight of this secret like a looming shadow, slowly creeping into every moment of her daily life. In love and secrecy, this secret was a fire consuming every corner of Alice's heart, turning it into an inescapable dark void. One day, Alice sat alone in her office, the dim light from the standing lamp illuminating her face. She had just received a letter, exuding the bitter and distinct scent of power, a letter from an anonymous man with whom she maintained an extramarital relationship. The words on the pristine white paper recorded threats and demands. If you don't want your secret revealed, ensure that the assets are transferred into my name. Otherwise, everything will end here. Alice read the lines, feeling trapped in a terrifying struggle. Things became more complicated as Alice's extramarital affair was no longer just a personal matter. It became entwined with the family's assets and the existence of the Olivia Lancaster family. She had to decide whether to keep the secret and be controlled or speak out and face unforeseen consequences. In suspicion and fear, Reynolds started to monitor his sister. Mysterious actions and secret affairs painted a chaotic picture in his soul. He didn't know that Alice was becoming a puppet in a larger picture, and this secret was just a small part of it. The Olivia Lancaster family's life descended into horror. Alice's secret affair became like a sharp knife in the heart of the family. On dark nights, as everyone sank into deep sleep, she had to confront anonymous calls and incessant threats. Meanwhile, Olivia, the family's mother, began to suspect the changes in Alice's soul. The shadow of the extramarital affair started to spread, affecting not only their private lives, but also the family's stability. Alice's extramarital affair was not just a personal issue, but a nest within a nest of secrets and dangers. While the Olivia Lancaster family was trying to overcome the pain of their father's death, they failed to realize that another secret was germinating, threatening to shatter everything they knew. The Olivia Lancaster mansion stood still in the dark, with only a faint light from the window and the shadow of ancient trees, creating a serene picture. Olivia, the family's mother, sat alone in her bedroom, a small reading lamp casting a gentle glow. Her soul resembled a black and white painting, with hidden dark corners. The years of happiness had long ended, replaced by despair and emptiness. Victor was gone, Alice was entangled in a dark property war, and Reynolds was falling into suspicion and fear. Olivia, maintaining the family's stability, felt a palpable absence of him in every step. However, the third secret, a secret relationship that Olivia guarded like a treasure, lay dormant beneath the perfect picture of family happiness. It was not a male servant, as everyone assumed, but another woman named Isabella, who had become a support and a sympathetic companion during difficult times. Her name was Isabella, an enchanting woman with deep, mesmerizing eyes and long, flowing hair. The secret relationship between Isabella and Olivia began with chance encounters at social events. Initially, they were sincere friends, but with each touch and gaze, their feelings became more special. The Olivia Lancaster family's life was nothing like the traditional family portrait. The sweetness and peace were just a facade, concealing the complexity of the relationship between Olivia and Isabella. They kept this relationship a secret not only because of societal peculiarity, but also because it could shatter everything they had built. Secret meetings and promises hidden in the darkness of the night highlighted the pain of the relationship between Olivia and Isabella. The family's life was spiraling into a maze between dark secrets and nameless pain. Isabella was not just a lover, she was someone who could understand and share the burdens of Olivia. Still, she could push this family onto a path of no return. Olivia faced a difficult decision: continue to keep the secret and live in pretense, or face the world and accept the consequences of a relationship society could not accept. This relationship, like a painting one does not want to see, became the ultimate factor to destroy the harmony of the Olivia Lancaster family as they confronted an unacceptable truth and made decisions about the future. Isabella's footsteps echoed as she walked through Olivia's door. In the quiet room, they looked at each other with understanding. The light from the corner lamp cast a gentle glow, illuminating Isabella's sparkling eyes. She smiled, and the light between them seemed to create a scene of secret love. Olivia sat down, her eyes fixed on the person with whom she had shared all secrets and pain. "What should we do, Isabella? Our family is falling into chaos." Isabella sat close to Olivia, gently running her fingers through Olivia's hair. "We've overcome many difficulties together, Olivia. We can't let everything end like this. But how do we keep everything from falling into the hands of the dark forces?" Olivia looked into Isabella's eyes, clouds of uncertainty swirling in her gaze. "I can't lose this family, Isabella. But I can't keep this secret forever either. If it's revealed, everything will crumble." Isabella leaned down to softly kiss Olivia's forehead. "We have to find a way. Perhaps we can talk to Alice and Reynolds, share what we're going through. They are family, and maybe they will understand and support us." Olivia shrugged slightly. "But can they accept this truth? Alice and Reynolds have been trying to hold the family together after Victor's death. If they know about my relationship with Isabella, they'll have to face another unacceptable truth." Isabella hugged Olivia tightly, sensing the tremors in her body. "We can't accept this facade forever. If not resolved now, one day it will resurface and destroy everything. We have to bravely face the truth, no matter how painful it is." Their decision set forth a challenging journey where people had to confront the truth, not only about the secret relationship, but also about everything they had built for the family. Alice and Reynolds, dealing with the tangled paths of the investigation into their father's death, would now have to face another truth, a strange and painful world they had never imagined. The relationship between Olivia and Isabella, once a secret, turned into a war between existence and pretense. The Olivia Lancaster family was gradually realizing that while they sought harmony and sincerity, the truth could bring a sense of liberation, but sometimes it could also be the key to the door of unforeseen pain and loss. The fourth secret began on a stormy night at the Olivia Lancaster mansion. The cold winds cut through the light of the street lamps like sharp knives. While the entire family was immersed in sleep, Reynolds, the eldest son, carefully opened his father's room door, moving stealthily like a shadow in the night. He closed the door behind him gently and advanced into Victor's room. In the dim light of the corner lamp, the portrait of his father came to life under the artist's skillful hand. Reynolds gazed up at the painting, perplexed and breathless, his eyes meeting those of his departed father. The first day of Reynolds' investigation began with this portrait. He couldn't believe in his father's suicide, a dark event accepted by those around as a cruel truth. The detailed drawings in the painting started forming the blurry lines of a conspiracy, a secret hidden beneath the family's facade. In suspicion and unease, Reynolds began to search every corner of the family mansion. He opened long-shut doors, explored dimly lit hallways, and entered rooms seldom ventured into. Each step was a sign of curiosity and fear, but he was determined to uncover the truth behind his father's death. During the investigation, Reynolds discovered strange traces and puzzle pieces of the mysterious story. Confidential documents, secret letters, and hidden meetings formed a complex picture of pain and obsession. The fourth secret wasn't just about Victor's death, but also about a tangled web of plots and conspiracies. As time passed, the relationship between Alice and Isabella began to shake the last corners of this painting. Reynolds, sweating and straining to decipher the secrets, started realizing that the interaction between these two women wasn't just a personal adventure, but had profound implications for the family's life and even his father's death. The fourth secret became more dramatic as each new discovery shocked Reynolds. Chaos spread, and people in the family began to realize that the mysterious paintings sparked an uncontrollable internal war, relationships, and dark secrets created an unpredictable confrontation, pushing the Olivia Lancaster family to the brink of unforeseen destruction. As the relationship between Alice and Isabella delves deeper into the labyrinth of complexity, Reynolds continues to dig into the secret he believes is directly related to his father's death. His investigations gradually unveil frightening and unbelievable revelations, distorting his understanding of the world around him. In the cold mansion, extramarital affairs and secret relationships begin to surface. Puzzle pieces of mystery intertwine, creating a picture Reynolds can't believe is the world his father lived in. Letters full of intrigue and darker details about Victor's past begin to unfold, deeply affecting Reynolds' soul. One day, in Victor's study, Reynolds finds an old diary where his father recorded thoughts and emotions. The writings are chaotic and unordered, but Reynolds recognizes important clues. Victor mentioned a mysterious organization and their connections to unpredictable powers. Reynolds' journey leads him to unexpected individuals, those who may hold the key to the truth. He begins to search for dark figures from his father's past, those who might know about secret relationships and the fourth secret. While Alice and Isabella are still in their internal struggle, Reynolds is fighting the outside world, where secrets are not only about his family, but also about dark forces they are unaware of. Every step Reynolds takes is a risk, but trust and perseverance slowly transform into strength. He approaches those who can help him unravel the secrets. In his journey, he faces dangerous challenges and unforeseeable truths, making the investigation increasingly difficult and perilous. While Alice and Isabella try to maintain their relationship amid relentless challenges, Reynolds is heading towards a truth that might upheave everything. This journey is not just about chasing secrets, but also about accepting and facing the consequences of decisions made by each member of the Olivia Lancaster family. One quiet evening, the light from a decorative lamp dispels the darkness in Claire's room, the adopted daughter of the Olivia Lancaster family. With her flowing blonde hair and a pair of with azure eyes, Claire always appeared gentle, and her beauty resembled that of an angelic painting. However, the fifth secret quietly materialized through the dark nights. Claire was not as pure as her outward appearance suggested. Her heart silently harbored a ruthless plan to harm everyone in silence. Starting with rumors and cold glances, Claire began to wage an internal war that no one in the Olivia Lancaster family could anticipate. The family's tranquility was just a façade, concealing clear signs of changes in Claire's soul. People around were surprised by the transformation in Claire's personality. She became quieter, the light in her azure eyes seemingly faded, replaced by coldness and darkness. During the nights, the soft footsteps of Claire began to spread through the corners of the house, creating an atmosphere full of haunting. Claire's harem went beyond creating a horrifying portrait of her character. It delved into emotionally hurting everyone in the family. Personal secrets, things few knew about, started emerging like sharp knives, igniting hostility and infiltrating the soul of each member. Claire chose to act discreetly, leaving no clear traces. However, the consequences of this plot were emerging, and the Olivia Lancaster family gradually realized that a dangerous enemy was infiltrating from within. Reynolds, with his curiosity and patience, began to suspect Claire's sudden change. During the long nights, he observed the silent footsteps of his sister, trying to uncover the secret she was keeping. But Claire, with a face still adorned with a gentle appearance, always kept her malicious plot silent yet full of danger. The fifth secret has made the atmosphere in the Olivia Lancaster family tense and dark. Each member, even those trying to maintain their relationships, had to face the danger from a single person, bringing destruction and an unpredictable coldness. The darkness hidden behind Claire's seemingly ordinary appearance was forming into a sinister plan. Every action of hers was carefully programmed, creating a deceitful picture that others couldn't fathom. Claire not only kept a secret, but also built a quiet atmosphere to accumulate the power of darkness. Claire's fifth secret is not just about rumors or gossip, it contains a destructive plot. Her cruel treatment and mysterious actions are only the visible part of a malevolent current flowing deep within Claire's soul. The Olivia Lancaster family is incapable of recognizing that the ordinary girl they trust is gradually becoming a force of darkness. Claire's gentleness is just a façade, concealing behind it a dark force always ready to unleash unforeseeable traps. The fifth secret is not just a personal transformation, it is a comprehensive threat to the family's stability. While daily life proceeds normally, the danger from Claire's fifth secret is becoming increasingly terrifying. When it begins to loom and is discovered, it will bring forth a dark storm, destroying everything Claire has accumulated from her secrets. The final discovery of the fifth secret occurred on a gloomy night when the eldest child, Roberts, began to notice unusual changes in Claire's behavior. During the long nights, as the Olivia Lancaster family was deep in slumber, Roberts was awakened by strange sounds emanating from Claire's room. Roberts quietly rose and followed those sounds, but the lights in the house remained dim. When she gently opened Claire's door, the scene before her almost left her in disbelief. Claire sat in the middle of the room, and darkness made her appearance terrifying. Although Roberts couldn't see Claire's face clearly in the darkness, her silhouette and unpredictable movements made Roberts feel frightened. But what was most horrifying was the strange sounds emanating from Claire's mouth, like dark whispers, making Roberts's heart beat faster. She realized that Claire was conducting a kind of dark ritual, and all the pain in the family seemed to originate from these terrifying ceremonies. In astonishment and horror, Roberts discovered Claire's fifth secret and realized that everything was not as she had imagined. Before Roberts could react, Claire raised her head, her eyes glowing red in the darkness, and a cruel smile appeared on her face. With no time to escape, Roberts felt trapped, and the shadows seemed to regard her as part of Claire's dark ritual. The horror reached its peak as she began to hear horrifying cries and moans from Claire's mouth, like souls trapped in agony. By the time the sunlight emerged, Roberts had mysteriously disappeared, and Claire's room only remained with the smell of blood and the presence of dark souls summoned. The final fifth secret became clear, but at the cost of the dreadful loss of the firstborn, dead by the hands of the own sibling. The revelation of the dark plot of the firstborn against the secondborn was a shock to the mother, Penelope. Though she was greatly fearful and surprised by her daughter's cruelty, greed began to sprout in Penelope's mind. The pain of betrayal, coupled with the desire to seize wealth, made her lose her sanity. Instead of choosing the path of fairness and responsibility, Penelope, with a pessimistic and deteriorating mindset, decides to embark on a dark journey with her own firstborn. The negotiations begin, and words full of deceit and cunning start infiltrating Penelope's mind. Torn between motherly love and greed for wealth, she begins to formulate a wicked plan. Mother and son start collaborating, concealing other dark secrets of the family and creating a sinister alliance. They negotiate with the wielders of power, alter wills, and plan to eliminate the eldest son from their lives. Both are efficient in hiding their true identities, covering the dark nature beneath a normal appearance. While people around continue to believe that the family is trying to overcome the pain of loss, in reality, Penelope and her firstborn are working together to increase suffering and destroy relationships within the family. Greed and selfishness have led them down a path often seen as horrifying and unbelievable. The eldest son, Michael, gets entangled in a horrifying whirlwind of strange and dark events. Unpredictable accidents occur repeatedly in his daily life, causing those around him to begin questioning the safety of their home and adding to the overall anxiety. The secret is kept discreet, but the light of the sun inadvertently reveals the dark nature of the assassination plot. In a horrifying night, Michael begins to experience peculiar and startling sensations. The darkness becomes an ominous space, and each of his steps is hindered by inexplicable pain. A sense that a supernatural force is controlling everything invades Michael's mind, causing him to lose sleep, and amid unending fear, he realizes that the threat is coming from within his own family. Nightmares haunt him, and each night turns into a dark adventure, with the light of the oil lamp dimmed by the pitch-black darkness. Penelope and her firstborn continue to closely monitor every move of Michael, but his emotions and feelings are only a small part of the greed and cruelty at play. His life became an unending nightmare, and the sunlight transformed from a symbol of hope into a source of mysterious and elusive light, refusing to shine. As the assassination plot continued to unfold, Michael found himself on the other side of the world, where reality and fantasy intertwined in chaos. The horrifying events and nightmares became an inseparable part of his life, making fear and loss uncontrollable. The world around Michael gradually darkened, resembling the souls of the assassins, and the last light in his life seemed to be fading away. After successfully harming Michael, the atmosphere in the Olivia Lancaster family was filled with joy, but also haunted by obsession. Penelope and her firstborn, Jonathan, maintained an elegant and friendly appearance, but behind the façade of their smiles were dark intentions. Every conversation, every smile, was a maneuver in their dangerous game. Although people saw a happy family, inside, hatred and resentment flourished. Penelope and Jonathan, despite achieving their goals, were driven by unrelenting greed into an extremely dangerous competition. Every action, every word carried malicious intent, and the family became an intense battleground between two relentless enemies. Meanwhile, Jonathan began experiencing painful symptoms from the poisoning. The family's secret now became a source of pain for their own member. Penelope and Jonathan continued their subtle plot, seizing every opportunity to push the other into the path of failure and suffering. Both maintained the appearance of near perfection, but each smile, every word, was a toxic arrow, fueling an intense mother-son rivalry. In their feigned joy, they both knew they were temporary adversaries, and their internal battle continued, turning the Olivia Lancaster family into a home filled with dark secrets and unimaginable pain. On the final day of the assassination plan, when sunlight seemed to illuminate the Olivia Lancaster family, Penelope prepared for the conclusion of her dark game. She secretly organized a final feast, inviting her firstborn, Jonathan, unaware that it would be her last supper to end the celebratory atmosphere. Everything was filled with joy and happiness, but both conspirators maintained cold expressions and icy glances. While people happily congratulated, they silently exchanged looks of hatred, tinged with a horrifying hint of incestuous excitement between mother and son. However, as they decided to carry out the final step, things became more uncontrollable when the eldest son, Michael, miraculously returned from the dead. As the door opened, Michael's face appeared, seemingly a miraculous resurrection, simultaneously exposing their secret. It was all a script crafted to initiate a cruel game. Penelope and Jonathan were not mother and son, but incestuous lovers, and Michael's death was just a part of the plan to shock and mesmerize those around them. The eldest son played a deceiving role, and this incestuous situation highlighted how dark their assassination game truly was. The blood-drenched end of the feast brought destruction and horror that the Olivia Lancaster family had never imagined. After Michael's death, Penelope and Jonathan continued their conspiracy of incest, creating a gloomy and chilling atmosphere in their home. The light had gleamed through the nightmare, causing everything to become immensely chaotic and dangerous. Dark secrets continued to emerge, and each family member was drawn into the whirlwind of destruction. Incest was not only present emotionally, but also manifested in every decision and action, causing people to suffer from pain and psychological chaos. The dead still threatened from the other side, and the survivors had to face the horrifying curse they had created. Destruction and decay began to spread into every corner of their lives, turning each day into an endless challenge. The Olivia Lancaster family, once a symbol of power and prestige, now became a symbol of darkness, trapped in the shattered remnants of loss and hatred. The curse from the otherworld, the imprisoned souls, and the survivors' dark plans became inseparable from their lives like an indelible scar. In the dark and chilling space, the Olivia Lancaster family gradually lost its radiance and became like soulless shadows, living in the chaos and suffering they had created. Their cruel existence turned into a bitter lesson on the consequences of greed, incest, and dark conspiracy.